The story of Santa Claus begins not at the North Pole, but in the warm coastal town of Patara, now part of Turkey. It was here, in the 4th century AD, that a boy named Nicholas was born to a wealthy family. Nicholas, however, was no ordinary child. He possessed an immense capacity for kindness and compassion, traits that would define his life and legacy. When Nicholas was still young, his parents died, leaving him a considerable fortune. True to his nature, Nicholas decided to use his inheritance to help those less fortunate. He became known for his secret acts of charity, often leaving coins in the shoes of the poor or providing dowries for young women in need. One of the most enduring legends about Nicholas tells of a poor man with 3 daughters. Unable to afford their dowries, the man despaired, fearing his daughters would be forced into servitude. Hearing of their plight, Nicholas tossed 3 bags of gold through their window under the cover of night, saving the family from ruin. Nicholas's reputation for generosity and piety spread far and wide. He became Bishop of Myra, a city renowned for its bustling port and diverse population. As bishop, Nicholas continued his charitable work, defending the poor and oppressed, and earning the love and admiration of his people. After his death, Nicholas was canonized as a saint, becoming known as St. Nicholas of Myra. His feast day, December 6th, became a time to celebrate his life and legacy, particularly his generosity towards children. This tradition, rooted in the real-life acts of a kind-hearted bishop, would eventually blossom into the global phenomenon we know as Santa Claus. The transformation of St. Nicholas into the jolly, gift-giving figure we know today was a gradual process, shaped by centuries of cultural exchange and evolving traditions. This evolution was influenced by various cultures and their unique interpretations of the St. Nicholas legend. One of the most significant influences on Santa's development came from the Netherlands, where St. Nicholas was known as Sinterklaas. The Dutch version of St. Nicholas was a revered figure, celebrated with much enthusiasm and joy. The Dutch held on to the tradition of celebrating Sinterklaas with great fervor. This celebration was deeply embedded in their culture and was eagerly anticipated by both young and old. Each year on the eve of his feast day, December 5th, families would gather to exchange gifts, sing songs, and tell stories about the benevolent Sinterklaas. This night was filled with excitement and joy as children eagerly awaited the arrival of Sinterklaas. Children would leave their shoes by the fireplace, hoping that Sinterklaas would fill them with treats and small presents. This tradition created a sense of wonder and magic, as children woke up to find their shoes filled with goodies. Sinterklaas, however, wasn't alone in his gift-giving endeavors. He had a companion who played a crucial role in the festivities. He was often accompanied by Zwarte Piet, or Black Pete, a mischievous figure who assisted Sinterklaas in delivering presents and keeping track of children's behavior. Zwarte Piet added an element of fun and mischief to the celebrations. While Zwarte Piet remains a beloved figure in Dutch folklore, his depiction has sparked controversy in recent years due to its racially insensitive connotations. This has led to ongoing debates and changes in how the character is portrayed. When Dutch settlers arrived in New Amsterdam, now modern-day New York City, they brought with them their cherished Sinterklaas traditions. These traditions began to blend with the local customs and celebrations. The figure of Sinterklaas, with his bishop's attire and penchant for rewarding good children, began to merge with existing Christmas celebrations, slowly taking on a new identity in the new world. This merging of traditions created a unique blend that would eventually evolve into the modern Santa Claus. However, the Puritan influence in early America, with its emphasis on piety and restraint, initially hindered the widespread adoption of Sinterklaas. The Puritans viewed many holiday celebrations with suspicion and disapproval. Christmas itself was not widely celebrated in early New England, seen as a frivolous and even pagan holiday. The Puritans' strict beliefs meant that many festive traditions were suppressed or altered. It wasn't until the late 18th century, as America gained independence and shed its puritanical constraints, that the figure of Santa Claus, a uniquely American blend of St. Nicholas and Sinterklaas, began to truly take hold in the nation's imagination. This new figure, with his cheerful demeanor and gift-giving spirit, became an integral part of American Christmas celebrations, symbolizing joy, generosity, and the magic of the holiday season. As America entered the 19th century, a burgeoning sense of national identity began to emerge. This period was marked by a growing desire to establish a unique cultural and social identity that was distinctly American, separate from European influences. This newfound national pride was reflected in the arts, with American writers and artists seeking to create distinctly American stories and icons. They wanted to craft narratives that resonated with the American experience and spirit, capturing the essence of the new nation. It was in this context that Washington Irving, one of the pioneers of American literature, played a pivotal role in shaping the early image of Santa Claus in the United States. Irving's contributions were instrumental in creating a character that would become a central figure in American holiday traditions. In 1809, Irving published A History of New York from the Beginning of the World to the End of the Dutch Dynasty, a satirical and often whimsical account of New York's early history. This work was not only a humorous take on the city's past, but also a reflection of Irving's creative genius. In this work, Irving introduced a rather unorthodox version of St. Nicholas, reimagining him as a jovial, pipe-smoking Dutchman who soared over the rooftops of New Amsterdam in a flying wagon, delivering gifts to well-behaved children. This imaginative portrayal was a significant departure from the traditional European depictions of St. Nicholas. Irving's depiction of St. Nicholas, while humorous and irreverent, captured the spirit of the emerging American identity, playful, generous, and a tad mischievous. This version of St. Nicholas resonated with the American public, who were eager for new traditions that reflected their own values and experiences. By associating St. Nicholas with New York's Dutch heritage, Irving helped to legitimize the celebration of Christmas and its gift-giving traditions in a nation still grappling with its Puritan past. This connection to Dutch culture provided a sense of historical continuity and cultural legitimacy. While Irving's St. Nicholas retained some elements of his Episcopal roots, such as his association with children and gift-giving, he was a far cry from the austere religious figure of old. Instead, he was a character who embodied the warmth and generosity of the holiday season. Irving's portrayal paved the way for a more secular and whimsical Santa Claus, one who embodied the joy and generosity of the holiday season without the weight of religious dogma. This transformation allowed Santa Claus to become a universally beloved figure, transcending religious and cultural boundaries. Irving's influence on Santa's development, however, wasn't limited to his literary contributions. His work laid the foundation for future writers and artists to build upon, further shaping the image of Santa Claus in American culture. He was also a member of the New York Historical Society and played a role in promoting St. Nicholas as the patron saint of New York City. This endorsement by a respected institution helped to solidify St. Nicholas's place in the cultural fabric of the city. This association further cemented St. Nicholas's place in American culture, paving the way for his transformation into the beloved Santa Claus we know today. The evolution of Santa Claus from a Dutch saint to a symbol of holiday cheer and generosity is a testament to the enduring power of cultural adaptation and storytelling. While Washington Irving planted the seeds for a uniquely American Santa Claus, it was Clement Clarke Moore, a professor of Oriental and Greek literature, who would solidify Santa's place in the nation's heart with his iconic poem A Visit from St. Nicholas, more popularly known as 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. This poem, with its rhythmic verses and vivid imagery, captured the imagination of readers young and old. Published anonymously in 1823, Moore's poem introduced many of the enduring elements of the modern Santa Claus mythos. It painted a picture of a magical figure who brought joy and wonder to the holiday season. Gone was the stately bishop of old, replaced by a right jolly old elf with a twinkle in his eye and a belly that shook like a bowl full of jelly. This transformation made Santa more approachable and beloved by children. Moore's Santa was a magical being, his sleigh pulled by 8 tiny reindeer, each with a name and personality as distinct as the children eagerly awaiting his arrival. This detail added a layer of enchantment to the story, each with a name and personality as distinct as the children eagerly awaiting his arrival. The poem's vivid descriptions brought the characters to life, making them memorable and endearing. Moore's poem painted a vivid picture of Christmas Eve, capturing the anticipation and excitement of children nestled snug in their beds. dreaming of sugar plums and the clatter of reindeer hooves on the rooftop. This imagery has become synonymous with the magic of Christmas, dreaming of sugar plums and the clatter of reindeer hooves on the rooftop. The poem's ability to evoke such strong visual and emotional responses is a testament to Moore's skill as a writer. He described Santa's stealthy entrance through the chimney, his sack overflowing with toys, and the quiet generosity with which he filled the stockings hung by the chimney with care. These details have become iconic elements of the Santa Claus legend. His sack overflowing with toys, and the quiet generosity with which he filled the stockings hung by the chimney with care. This act of giving without expecting anything in return embodies the true spirit of Christmas. "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" was an instant success, embraced by families across America. It was reprinted in newspapers and magazines, memorized by children, and recited aloud on Christmas Eve, becoming an integral part of the holiday tradition. It was reprinted in newspapers and magazines, memorized by children, and recited aloud on Christmas Eve, becoming an integral part of the holiday tradition. The poem's widespread popularity helped to cement Santa Claus as a central figure in American Christmas celebrations, and recited aloud on Christmas Eve, becoming an integral part of the holiday tradition. Moore's whimsical yet heartwarming portrayal of Santa Claus resonated deeply with the American spirit, capturing the magic and wonder of Christmas in a way that transcended religious and cultural boundaries. Moore's whimsical yet heartwarming portrayal of Santa Claus resonated deeply with the American spirit, capturing the magic and wonder of Christmas in a way that transcended religious and cultural boundaries. His depiction of Santa as a joyful, generous figure helped to shape the modern image of Christmas, capturing the magic and wonder of Christmas in a way that transcended religious and cultural boundaries. The poem's impact on Santa's image was profound, influencing how he was depicted in various forms of media. The poem's impact on Santa's image was profound. Moore's descriptions of Santa's appearance, his mode of transportation, and his actions on Christmas Eve became the definitive portrayal of Santa Claus, shaping the way generations of artists, writers, and storytellers would depict the jolly old elf for centuries to come. Moore's descriptions of Santa's appearance, his mode of transportation, and his actions on Christmas Eve became the definitive portrayal of Santa Claus, shaping the way generations of artists, writers, and storytellers would depict the jolly old elf for centuries to come. His influence can still be seen in the countless adaptations and interpretations of Santa Claus that continue to delight audiences around the world. And his actions on Christmas Eve became the definitive portrayal of Santa Claus, shaping the way generations of artists, writers, and storytellers would depict the jolly old elf for centuries to come. Moore's legacy endures, as his vision of Santa Claus remains a beloved and integral part of Christmas celebrations, shaping the way generations of artists, writers, and storytellers would depict the jolly old elf for centuries to come. Moore's poem not only defined the character of Santa Claus, but also captured the essence of the holiday spirit, making it a timeless classic that continues to inspire joy and wonder during the Christmas season.